Hello, today is April 12, 2025. As always, we'll start with our disclaimer, we'll go over our calls and then make our predictions. This is my trading plan for Monday. Monday is April 14th, 2025. Remember, it's a plan. I can change my plan. My plan can be completely wrong, and any trade you make should be made at your own risk. Well, this is the first time in about 2.5 weeks I've had some opportunity to take a longer look at things. Let's start off with our predictions. We look for the pattern with the early high tends to be a rally day with a high of final hour. That's what we got. Now it's a bullish pattern, but it's not bullish that the final hour high didn't overtake this high. Now time doesn't run out until Monday's open, and that's pretty close, and there's nothing stopping us from overtaking this right at the open on Monday and keep going higher. But if we can't do that, it's a rally which didn't accomplish anything, and it should lead to lower prices, even if we don't close lower. We really need to continue this by gapping and taking this high out early. I'm not that certain that's going to happen, because here we've been rallying for a day and a half, and we still can't take out any of these highs. So far it's just backing and filling and not really changing anything. And the main thing is we never confirmed this huge rally on Wednesday. And don't forget, the strongest rallies in percentage terms all occur in bear markets. So this was a historically strong rally, and until proven otherwise, without the confirmation, it's not a good sign. It's a bearish sign. Doesn't mean you won't get this invalidated by taking this out Monday, but for right now, it's nothing to be happy about if you're a bull. We did have a lower target. We came nowhere near it. We'll have to add this to the list. The odds are pretty good. That's going to print at some time, and that's quite a bit lower than where we are now. This is just a reminder of what we said. We had mixed signals rules. The commonest thing is a gap and prompt move outside the day's range. Well, we moved all kinds of places in the overnight session, but much higher, much lower. Shows the signals were clearly mixed, but I don't count that, so that we didn't get that. When that didn't happen, the next most common thing is close little change, big move the next day. That certainly didn't happen. So it was one of those infrequent days when none of the most common things happen. Here's what you see for next week. Monday should have the early high within the range of a Caroline turn date. Just because one of these dates happen, that doesn't mean you have to have a turn. The way it works is if you're going to have a major turn, that's if you are, it'll be around one of these dates within a few days. But the converse isn't true. Just because you have a date doesn't mean you have to have a major turn. I'm not so certain we're going to have a major turn on this date, but that's what the date is. Well, this Friday was one of the days when MEJT really earned its keep. Everything worked. We had a sell signal in the morning. We got the drop. Target was hit immediately. Support under the target. MEJT says the drop wouldn't stick. We retraced to this line, at least we did. Dropped again. Said that wouldn't stick. We'd retrace again. We did. Said this move down wasn't for real. The price would retrace. It did. Had this huge rally. MEJT said price would retrace to this line. Find support there. It did. And it gave perfect entries. Everything worked. It was one of those days where you might have been tempted to jump on board this rally instead of waiting for the pullback, tempted to follow these things down instead of waiting for the pullback. Even if you never took a trade based on the system, it certainly told you not to chase these moves. And if you did take a trade, it told you what the targets were and where the support levels were. Well, we had a strong rally this week, and somehow you have to find a way to count it. This is my long-term count. It isn't the only count. We think we've completed wave 2, or more likely wave A of 2. And you have to find some way to count this wave up, which didn't invalidate this break lower yet. I mean, you'd like to see, if you're in a bull market, you want to see higher highs and higher lows. So far, we're still seeing lower highs and lower lows. Doesn't mean this is over, but let's see how we can count this. Let's go to a shorter term chart. Well, here's how I'm counting it. Maybe there's some other way to count it, but I'm counting this as A and the fibs work. I'm counting this as B and the fibs work. I'm counting that as C with C equal to A and these fibs work. If you're a bull, that's not the kind of count you want to see. Now, C doesn't have to equal A. It can equal 1.618 times A. It can equal 2 times A, 2.618. But so far it's stopping there, and what I really don't like is if you count this as a cup with upsloping handle, and this is a break of the handle, there's a target to retrace back to the origin, which is way back here, the origin of the cup. I mean, this whole rally could be retraced way down to here if that's the right idea. Now again, if it's the right idea, we're going to stop here. We keep going up, we overtake this, then something else is going on, and we aren't going to know that until Monday. But if you're a bull, you sure don't want to stop right here, because if we do, much lower targets are in store. Well, Monday's pattern has the early high, doesn't tell us where we open. Friday's rally failed to close with a new high a day in the final hour, and it failed to overtake prior relative highs. Now, time doesn't run out until Monday's open, but if we can't rally then, what you want to do is gap and promptly overtake Friday's high. It gives credibility to a wave count which says this leg up is over. And I'd rather we keep going up, but I don't like the way this looks right now. Could all change Monday. We gap up here Monday, we can forget about this target printing, but I mean, it'll print eventually. But if we can't do that and we start down, I got much lower targets. It's the pattern with the early high. If we start down here and this holds, I mean, there are much lower targets in store. And that's today's call.